Before VAT was introduced, India was following sales tax. So sales tax, then VAT, then how it has evolved with the GST. So we will see the phase of changes happened with sales tax, with VAT, and how it has led to the development of introducing GST in our country. So in this module, we are first going to look at the sales tax structure. See, sales tax, we know that each stage tax is added on the product. See, for example, if you take the chain, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, consumer. Imagine the manufacturer is buying goods worth 100 rupees. Sales tax is 10%. So he is paying 110. And if his final product he is selling for 150, again sales tax is 10%. That meaning 15 rupees. But this already 10 rupees he has paid for the raw material. It cannot be adjusted at the stage of final product. So this was the main drawback of sales tax. That is adding tax on tax. Each stage, whatever tax is already paid, it was not reduced or it was not given the proper credit at the next stage. Cascading effect on tax. So other limitations, if you see at sales tax, it increase the cost of goods because each stage tax is added and it is not adjusted. Then cascading effect on tax. There was no mechanism for input tax credit. Then interstate supplies and interstate sales. That was the major problem. So with these drawbacks, 2005, India has introduced VAT. VAT stands for value added tax. Value added tax, the main feature was input tax credit feature was there for the value added tax or the VAT. But each stage has their own tax rates and all. See here, if you have same example, if you take manufacturer is selling goods, buying goods worth 100, say VAT is 10%. So he is paying 110. When he is selling the product at 150, again 10% meaning 15 rupees. So final product cost becomes 165. So in the VAT system, input tax credit is there. That meaning he can reduce that already 10 rupees he has paid for the time of purchasing the raw material, that he can reduce from the 15 rupees. So the net effect he is paying only 5 rupees. So the input tax credit system. Now also GST is following that input tax credit system, that main feature of GST. And cascading effect of tax is removed. But here also VAT has got its own limitations. Different states has got different VAT rates. And despite VAT, central government was introducing excise duty and service tax. So there was no integration possible with central taxes and state taxes. That was the main limitation, and India needs a system where central and state taxes are integrated into one system. So that is how sales tax to VAT and VAT to GST. So that is the evolution, or that is the importance of VAT or sales tax in the introduction of GST on July 1st, 2017.